Here we go.
Purdy out of the shotgun, drops a couple of steps, going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's deflected. Caught.
Cousins, first read taken away. Left side, he throws. Wide open pass.
From being able to make a play on that football.
That's where Sutton was so good last year in the red zone.
Nix evades the run. Nix the fake. Another fake, and he spins into the end zone.
They're going to get a free play. Rodgers is the master at it, and a touchdown by Lazard. Jones on the fake. Pressure coming, and he's sacked by Parsons.
God, corner.
Open man Hudson.
The throw caught. Hudson lost the ball. Looked like a touchdown. Instead, it's a turnover.
On the pocket. Cuts away from Chenal, who's trying to get after him for a second time, but the ball is thrown to the end zone, and it's caught!
On it to McCaffrey right up the middle, and a stiff arm. McCaffrey for 6.
Well. Doesn't that stir up a lot of great memories?
No.
Doesn't that stir up a lot of great feelings? Because
No.
happy NFL week, y'all. The NFL season kicks off on Thursday. We are about 72 hours from the 2025 NFL season. Hope all of you guys had a great weekend and a great Labor Day. I mean, we had so much good football across the board, man, but football is back. The NFL begins this upcoming Thursday, and I can't wait. And James, today was supposed to be a great day because I woke up this morning, in anticipation of Bill Belichick's debut at UNC. I had my Tar Heel blue on. I know it's Rangers baby blue, but still same thing. So I wore this jersey because, for one, Bill Belichick's debut, Tar Heel blue. And then I wore this jersey because the Rangers are playing the D-backs, so go Rangers. And I wore this jersey because the guy on my back, Patrick Corbin, is pitching for the Texas Rangers in this game. Belichick fell flat on his face. Corbin fell flat on his face. But, hey, the Rangers won, so I can't complain. But welcome in, my guy, James Gonzalez, y'all. To everybody that's tuning in. James, how was your weekend? How was your Labor Day? And how's everything? Are you excited for football to be back?
Yeah. I'm kind of waiting for curling to come back and, winter because it's so hot outside. So I'm waiting for winter to come back. Winter Olympics, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's over with already, though. But, if there was. Yeah. No. I just want somebody else to win this year and go to the Super Bowl. You know what I did this weekend, actually, and thank you to whomever? I got to watch
San Jose State play! Yay!
Oh, my God, dude. No. This weekend, I got to watch all 4 episodes of The Hard Knocks with the Buffalo Bills. And I learned a lot. I learned more about the Bills Mafia. I learned that the coach has he's real careful about the sun in the sky. I never knew, that he had skin cancer.
McDermott?
Yeah.
Wow.
I never really knew that, and that's why he's got to be so careful out there because his one of his coaches that he learned from, Jim Johnson, died. Remember, I think he was a defensive coach all those years with, I think, the Eagles, among other places. So he died of skin cancer. So it's like, oh shit, I didn't even realize it. But yeah, between all the college football, I watched those 4 episodes. But man, I enjoyed some of the college football, especially the big games. Not so much the Ohio State Texas. That was a game that, both young quarterbacks did not really shine. The defenses, especially Ohio State defense, played zone 72% of the time on Arch Manning, and it really worked out. Saying did all right, but Jeremiah Smith, my Heisman Trophy pick, just didn't do well. He didn't do well against Texas either last playoffs, so that was, kind of sad. But what was the other game? The Battle of Death Valleys, and LSU won on the road at Clemson. That was a fun ass game. And then Sunday was just awesome with Miami winning by a field goal over Notre Dame. That quarterback, I forget his name, CJ. Oh God, I have his freaking name. I had his last name because he was the coach before at.
EJ Carr.
EJ Carr, yeah, he was. He was the. They thought he was going to go to Michigan, but Jim Harbaugh didn't get him. Didn't sign him, and he showed some things for Notre Dame. It's good for Miami to win that type of game right now, but can they win later on? But yeah, it was last weekend of or last Sunday of college football. There was like 2 weeks of it, right? And now the pros begin, and I really can't. I mean, I could wait for it. We have to wait till Thursday anyway. But today, Labor Day, was kind of laid back. I went to the gym actually. Now I came back here, ate some stuff, and tried to stay out of the heat. Yeah, I was really disappointed by North Carolina. Not so much Belichick, but North Carolina, and I know you wanted to get into that. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. But yeah, like James said, we'll get into some North Carolina football because that was the big spectacle in all of sports. Before we get into our, special 8 divisions in 8 days. But it is double day today again because, we are fastly approaching the 2025 NFL season. So we are going to do double day. We're doing the NFC East and the NFC North. It's a division, the East specifically. It's a division in which Bill Belichick has some affiliations to, and a big trade happened that involved both divisions. So I can't wait to get into that. But if you guys like what you guys are watching, go ahead, smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button, share this video everywhere, and we will really appreciate your guys' support. But without further ado, let me turn it over to my guy, James Gonzalez, and we'll get into Bill Belichick's debut, which we thought was going to be great. It was highly anticipated, but then it wasn't. So, James, the floor is yours.
All right, so there was a spectacle in Chapel Hill tonight. TCU was in town taking on North Carolina. Did you see who was there, by the way, at Chapel Hill tonight? It was Michael Jordan. There was what was the old basketball coach?
Roy Williams was there.
Roy
tonight?
Williams. I almost said Gary Williams, the Maryland old coach. And then I started saying Dean. I'm like, he's not. He's there in spirit. He's not there.
He's in spirit, yeah.
Lawrence Taylor was there. Julius Peppers was there. Oh God, there was someone else too that they showed. But man, the first drive was awesome. The first drive, they looked like those old New England Patriots, right? Where they just, moved the ball methodically down the field, and it quickly was 7-0. TCU responded and then responded again and again and again. Definitely got some turnovers on the quarterback, Gio Lopez. Lopez ended up leaving the game, I believe, in the third quarter with a lower leg injury. And Max Johnson, Brad Johnson's son, and the parents were there, of course. I forgot he had like a horrible leg injury last year he's coming back from. And he threw for, I think, one touchdown. But yeah, it was just a one drive basic game for North Carolina as TCU's defense, which wasn't really a thing, I don't think, last year, but they came out, they had a couple sacks, but then they forced some turnovers and some interceptions. There was one interception. There was a couple fumble recoveries, but Josh Hoover, their quarterback, who has a lot to prove, threw for a couple of touchdowns. They had 2 rushing touchdowns there, and then 2 receiving touchdowns. So the defense gave the ball, to the offense and said, "Hey, go and score." But it was mostly that look right there for Bill Belichick in his first game in college. Now, I was saying to myself, Isaiah, the offseason, was a whirlwind for him and Michael Lombardi, the GM, right? Because he had to bring in all these new transfers, and there was 70 of them, right? Some of them didn't even make it to the training camp. They just went with who they had, and then they're trying to get all these people together to play without preseason games that, Belichick and Lombardi are used to. And now you're having the doubt, if that pro style running a program can work in college. Is he going to be like a Steve Spurrier or Lou Holtz, where he was great in the NFL? Or I'm sorry, the opposite of that. Opposite, going from pro to college, where they just don't do well in college, and then they go back to the NFL and do well. People are saying, "Oh, maybe it's a one and done. He's going to be a freshman there at UNC." But I had a feeling it was going to be like this. The final score was 48-14, by the way. It was over by the third quarter, basically. People left at halftime, to be honest with you. That's how bad it was. And then even Herb Street's dog, around the 2-minute warning, got to put on a headset, and all you hear is that's how the game ended up being, where it was more about, something else. But man, I just thought about that booth right there real quick. Michael Jordan, one of my favorite players of all time in the NBA, probably number 2 to Magic. And then my favorite defensive player of all time is Lawrence Taylor. And nobody can tell me, not Ray Lewis, not Urlacher, whomever, Dion. It's Lawrence Taylor forever, right? I was thinking to myself, damn, UNLV. Now, hopefully, they could pour some money into some more transfers. And right there, you have Michael Jordan, right? There's Jordan logo on all the stuff, all the colors and everything. Hopefully, if they ask them nicely, that they can recruit some players for Belichick going forward. But it goes to show you that this is going to be, I thought already it was going to be a rough year. But I think it would get off to this type of rough start, even though it does happen in the first games. But it goes to show you it's going to take some years, like it will at West Virginia with Rich Rod. It's going to take some time before these schools, get back to now. They won though, West Virginia, but they beat someone, not notable. But you just saw tonight the worst case scenario, pretty much, of the quarterback getting hurt, just all the turnovers, and Bill Belichick really having no answers with his team. That's how I assessed it, Isaiah. How do you assess the 48-14 beat down of North Carolina by TCU tonight.
James, to be honest, this is probably the most disappointed I've been in my entire life watching a sporting event because I look at it like this. The hype was just insane. I mean, you had College Game Day there. You had a lot of, basically they gave Belichick his entire day, right? It
Yeah.
was just North Carolina versus TCU. That was the only game on today. That was the focal point of, forget baseball, forget WNBA, forget any other sports. This was the thing that everybody was trying to watch, right? Like people took days off, including myself, to watch this game. People hurried home to watch this game because of one man and one man only, and that was Bill Belichick. If Bill Belichick wasn't coaching North Carolina, I guarantee you nobody's watching North Carolina versus TCU on a Monday night. But that's why people decided to tune in. And then, like you said, there was so many celebrities there, like Mia Hamm was there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
That was the other one.
Michael Jordan was there. Lawrence Taylor, like you mentioned, was there. Julius Peppers, I think, was there at the game. You forgot the one famous celebrity, James, and I can't believe you forgot the name Jordan Hudson. How can you forget Jordan Hudson being there? I think Bill Belichick's girlfriend. She was seated next to like Roy Williams in the booth. I don't know if you saw that, but
no, I didn't. Is she pregnant? Is that confirmed?
I don't know actually. Like,
dude, Bill might not be winning on the field, but it seems like lately he's been winning off the field.
Yeah, he's been winning off the field. That's for
Wait,
sure.
how old is he? I didn't know it still worked. I got hope now. I guess it works when you're later on. Wow. Maybe it isn't his. Maybe there's more drama this year. Maybe it's one and done for Bill at UNC.
Dude, just imagine like the drama if the kid, if first of all she is pregnant, and then if the kid is actually not his, oh my god, like the drama around UNC is
it's another
great.
color.
Yeah, exactly.
I just thought about that. What's the name?
Oh my gosh, we're already off the rails. Freaking like 17 minutes in, but yeah, I mean, you had so many celebrities at the game. You had like
I'm sorry. She'll try to sue me if I say something derogatory like she does everybody else. I don't mean that. I'm sorry, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan, if you want, you're free to come on the show. Come on.
No, she tried to control everything. You know that. Anyway, what about the game, Isaiah? What did you take on the field?
Oh, my God. But yeah, like I said, this was probably the most disappointed I've been in a result of a sporting event. I thought North Carolina, when they came out the way they did, all pumped up, running on the field, and then they go right down the field, boom, 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 right down the field, running the football. TCU couldn't stop them. The running back was gaining like 7 yards a carry. Gio Lopez had this one nice pass where he threw it down the field. I was like, man, this Carolina team looks like, forget winning this game or winning the ACC. I texted one buddy of mine saying this Carolina team looks like a national championship contender. Off of one drive. Easy. Yeah. And then they proceeded to like forget how to do anything when it comes to football. Like everything. Yeah. Like they couldn't tackle. They couldn't hold on to the football. Gio Lopez took forever to throw the football. The offensive line couldn't block. I mean, the center was so pathetic. The center, is he a human or is he a freaking cinnamon roll? Because this dude was getting pancaked almost every play. Like, he was just getting pushed down by a 250-pound TCU defender. And then, like, he would just get pushed down or pushed out of the way. And then when he tried to snap the ball, I don't know if James, if you saw, but he was snapping it, like, on the ground. He was snapping it to the left. He was snapping it to the right. Like, North Carolina forgot how to play football after the opening drive. And I was just like wondering to myself, like, what happened? Like, defensively, they came out sharp. Offensively, they came out slinging. And then they just forgot how to do everything. So, yeah, I don't know what what transpired. I don't know what Freddie Kitchens, the offensive coordinator, by the way. Freddie Kitchens is the play caller. I don't know what he was dialing up, what he was thinking. Why did the run game all of a sudden stop working? Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. But I think my biggest takeaways from tonight is that Max Johnson needs to be the starting quarterback moving forward. I do not want to see Gio Lopez again. James, I don't know if you saw this stat on the TV screen, and I don't know if we have it up here, but Gio Lopez did not complete a pass for 128 minutes. Like, he did not complete one pass. Oh, right here. He didn't complete one pass for 128 minutes. That's like 2 hours. Like, that's insane. And yeah, he can't be the starter. Like, he doesn't pose a threat with his arm. He's fast, but he's like Trey Lance, where he doesn't know how to run the football to power through opponents. Like, he cannot be the starting quarterback moving forward. I loved what I saw from Max Johnson, the throws down the field. Like, I think that you need to start Max Johnson if you're Bill Belichick, because he at least can give you, he at least can, threaten teams with his arm. And that will open up the running game. I like the running back Hood. Every time I saw him run, he was running very violently out there. I don't know why they didn't target their best wide receiver, Ship, a lot more. But the defense, man, that defense is a huge mess. They couldn't tackle. They couldn't get – I don't think they got any sacks on Hoover, the quarterback from TCU. The secondary, I know I don't know if you saw the broadcast, James, but TCU was – they were not throwing to one side because North Carolina's best corner, Dixon, was covering their best receiver, so they canceled out. But the rest of the corners, they were awful. Like, the one guy that was getting picked on prior was just picking on him, like, and it was easy catch. They got to fix the entire secondary. Like, it was awful what we watched. And, yeah, I mean, there's just so many, like, things to work on, but I mean, their next 2 games are like easy gimme cupcake games. They got Charlotte, they got Richmond. UCF is not that great, so like I think they can win their next 3 games, but it's that Clemson game that really scares the hell out of me for Bill Belichick.
Okay, so to me, it felt like one of my favorite sayings of all time with the players at North Carolina right now. And it goes from the start of Saturday Night Live when they introduced in the beginning. And they basically said the cast was not ready for primetime players. And that's exactly what it felt like tonight with the North Carolina Tar Heels football team. But hopefully they can gain some confidence playing some scrubs. If you lose, though, oh my God, everybody is going to be on you. And the one and done talk will be there. You don't get as many recruits, whatever the case is.
James,
it's just something to look up for next year.
Can I add something about the TCU players, like going away from like the North Carolina side of things? Is first of all, that running back of theirs, like I forget his name, the guy with the long hair. I think his name was Brannon or something. No, Kevarian Barnes. He rushed for 11 carries, 113 yards, 1 touchdown. That guy reminds me of Ashton Junty. Like, the guy was overpowering guys. Like, when it took like 3 people, 4 people at sometimes to tackle him. Like, he's a dog, man. And he's a guy that to watch out for. Like, if you're watching college football moving forward, and also if you're watching for potential NFL draft prospects. And Hoover looked really good too. Like, he's a guy that, if you watch college football moving forward, like, that's a guy to keep an eye on, because if he can do what he did on a consistent basis on Monday night moving forward, like, TCU is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I was really impressed with Hoover, and I was really impressed with that running back. I mean, my God, like, he looked like when he was running, he looked like Marshawn Lynch out there running the football, and then like, running through contact. It was insane.
The one thing I saw from TCU tonight, they had that one receiver, number 7, I think it was. Let me get his name right. Jordan Dwyer. Dude, he had a Devontae Adams type of stat game, right? He had 9 receptions, 136 yards for 1 touchdown. Longest catch was 33 yards, but he had a 15.1 average per catch. Obviously, him and Kavarian Barnes at running back number 2 were the stars of the game, definitely. But TCU, they were definitely better at defense tonight, and really just improved by a game from last year, from what they did last year. Sonny Dykes is 1-0 now, but the pressure is going to be on as they go in that conference. You want to go over to the NFC East predictions? Yes.
Yeah, let's shift away from college
But
football.
before we
Yes.
go to the NFC East, I think we have to talk quickly about the massive trade that happened on Thursday, just before I think the evening happened. And Michael Parsons, of course, after the hold in that he had, where he was just holding tackling dummies for the other players, and the other players would go go for it. And then the bad image, he went to go lay down on the trainer's table for like a minute or so. A bunch of, pictures were taken after that. But it was over. Michael Parsons was traded to the Green Bay Packers, your playoff rival, Jerry. What? For 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark, the defensive tackle, which will be in his 10th year out of UCLA. It feels like I've watched him for years at UCLA, and then, of course, in the NFL when the Packers were on. But the Cowboys, man, and I told you, I think on Friday, I was watching during the San Jose State game. I was listening to, Jerry Jones's press conference. And remember what I said about it was a show, not a good one. The things he was saying was just like, huh? We could get 3 to 5, potential great Pro Bowl players in the draft, coming up within a couple of years because of this. Those first round picks, the 2 picks, they could be number 30 between 32 now if the Packers really go for it, right? Plus, Dallas might suck, so they'll have like a top 5, top 10 pick, right? So you're taking from the bottom and the top. But it's just weird because also he said Kenny Clark could stop the run. And they were saying the metrics weren't really favoring that up front. And Parsons did. Then I think on Saturday, or was it Friday, the Cowboys re-upped with Bland, their safety, I believe it is. And I think they gave him $90 million per 4 years, I think, for 4 years or something like that. So 32 each year, I believe it is. But man, again, that press conference was Jerry. Of course, it starts with him, ends with him. He didn't want to negotiate with his agent. The handshake deal just never, ever works anymore. This isn't 30, 40 years ago with the oil deal or whatever crap. But yeah, Parsons finally wants out, and he got out. He makes Green Bay, like, they already have a great defense. I mean, sure, they don't have Jair Alexander. He went to Baltimore, but they still have dogs all over the place. Green Bay's defense. We'll talk about that division too. But now, if you're a Cowboy fan, I mean, where do you go from here? You overpaid. Jerry overpaid for Lamb and Dak last year. He had a deal done where they were offering 40, but he wanted 47, did Parsons. And you could have met somewhere in the middle, I felt like, eventually, as the off season went on, but it never happened from April on. But man, the reaction is just like. And by the way, that's the second Pro Bowler that Jerry could not make a deal with and had to trade. It was a secondary player some time ago, but it feels like this is more. Jerry's 82 years old, and it feels like every year he's losing something out of his mindset, right? And his son had to be there, Stefan, to really kind of, say some words that Jerry couldn't think of or try to correct him. It was just like a cringe press conference, some of the things he mentioned. But to me, it feels like the Cowboys after this, I don't know. I'll just say it with the predictions. But for the trade, Isaiah, just wild. And the fact they only got 2 first rounders, and then quickly the Packers, sign him to an extension. But Isaiah, what's up with this trade, and how do you think it's gonna work for both teams?
James, the trade happened almost a week ago, and I am still stunned and
Wait, what?
shocked that Micah Parsons is no longer a Dallas Cowboy. Like I'm still shocked. Like I can't believe it that Micah Parsons, that the Cowboys actually traded him. Like when that happened, like I think you texted me, something about Parsons being a Packer, and I
Micah Packer.
Micah Packer, yeah.
As Adam Schefter was quickly trying to text on his phone, like the headline, and he put Micah Packer because I guess he was saying Packer before. But yeah, that's his nickname now, Micah Packer.
Dude, when you texted me that, I had just woken up. So I was like, and I slept like really long, and stuff. But I woke up at 2 p.m., turned on my phone, I'm scrolling through. And then all of a sudden, I get a notification from you that Micah Parsons got traded. And I quickly switched on to ESPN. I was like, dude, I couldn't believe it. Like, my jaw dropped. But, dude, this is a crazy, crazy, crazy trade, man. Like, I mean, like, this is Micah freaking Parsons. Like, this is the best defensive player in all of football. Like, you don't trade a guy like that. And even if you do trade a guy like you want to trade Micah Parsons, you certainly don't trade him to the Green Bay Packers of all teams. I mean, that's your chief rival. That's like if the Niners traded away Nick Bosa to the freaking Philadelphia Eagles, or traded him to the Seattle Seahawks. Like, you don't do that. You don't do that nonsense. Like, and what's crazy, James, is that I was watching the documentary on the Charles Haley trade the night before. And when I woke up and saw that reminded me 1,000% of the 49ers trading away Charles Haley to the Dallas Cowboys. And, this is for the Cowboys, like, this is such a stupid trade because not only did you trade him, you traded him to Green Bay. Like now all the, like Jerry always says, like, I want to win a Super Bowl, I want to compete and stuff like that. Well, you just traded your best defensive player, the guy that was single-handedly holding down your defense. You just traded him to the Green Bay Packers, your chief rival. And now not only is your defense weakened, but you made the Packers weakness, which was their defense, because we know they could score the ball with Jordan Love and all those receivers out there and Josh Jacobs running the football. Like, their weakness was their defense. They didn't have a top, game wrecker on the defensive side of the ball to stop the opposing teams from scoring. But now they have that in Micah Parsons, and they gave up only 2 first-round picks. Like you said, that's not really a lot. And also those picks are going to probably be in like the late 20s, early 30 range and stuff. So, like, they're not really worth a lot. And so you couldn't even get more than 2 first-round picks. You got Kenny Clark, like, who is a fine player, but he's not really like a standout player. Like, I don't get this trade in all aspects for the Cowboys. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, it's just Jerry Jones is, needs to be put in a retirement home after this because, like you said, like, he's clearly losing it. And sadly, like, he reminds me, James, and I'm being serious, he reminds me of Al Davis at the end, where Al Davis was making stupid decisions after stupid decisions
Mm-hmm.
after stupid decisions, and he just looked like he lost it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like this is such a stupid trade for the Dallas Cowboys. Like if you were gonna trade him, like trade him to the AFC at least. Like with your Raiders, you
Yeah.
traded Khalil Mack to the freaking NFC, and you got a boatload back in return. And also, this is what I don't like about like people relying on draft picks. Like draft picks aren't guaranteed to amount to another star player. Like you traded away Micah Parsons, who's a guaranteed superstar. Like your Raiders, and I'm sorry to bring this up, James, but they traded away Khalil Mack, who at that time was one of the best pass rushers in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
and they got a boatload of picks back. You know what those
Mm-hmm.
picks amounted to?
Not
Freaking
much. Just Amari
yeah.
Cooper, and then he ended up getting traded to the Cowboys.
Well,
And then Henry Ruggs
I don't think Amari
had
was
his
even
thing.
part of that Khalil Mack package, right? Because he was already there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a dumbass.
Khalil.
I meant Ruggs. I'm sorry, Riggs, of course.
Yep, Ruggs
Alex
one.
Leatherhead, I believe.
Cleveland
That one was the
Farrell.
worst because he was eventually traded away. Who's the Ohio State corner that showed guns on the camera? Anyway,
I
I
know who
forgot
you're
his
talking
name,
about.
but yeah, he was part of it. And it's just the risk that you take because you can't do anything else anymore.
Well,
There was a
you
couple.
forgot the two other players.
Uh,
They drafted a guy, a defensive end,
um,
that they were going to replace Khalil Mack with. Farrell.
Yeah, Cleveland Farrell, and that was a freaking reach.
Yep.
Oh, all Mike
Totally.
Mayock did basically was just draft people that made like the final four of the championship of NCAA. Basically, that's all he did.
Well,
And
Jonathan Abrams too was another one of that trade.
God,
He was
quickly
not
petered
bad.
out.
He
just went too wild on tackles, and he ended up hurting himself. Like he
would only go
never.
for the hard hits.
Yeah, and he always got penalties or hurt himself or other teammates flying by. It was just too. It was awful, just the way. But think about this though, for Dallas, yeah, they're going to have 2 picks in the next, or 2 first rounders, I believe, the next 2 years, right? That's all great, but you need more than that, I believe.
Yeah,
especially in the loaded NFC now. Some things about this though. Parsons had a back issue. It really wasn't talked about with the Cowboys. They kind of kept it hush. And then, he was out there practicing, but he's going to take a shot. And then I think he'll be ready to go week 1 when the Packers take on the Lions. I think that's at Lambeau. I think
it is.
Yeah, I can't remember. But he should be ready to go. And then the Packers go to Dallas. Sunday Night Football at the end of September. Keep that day in mind. I think it's September 29th. Oh boy, it's gonna be just wild. And then the other thing too, when they had social media, the Cowboys social media followed Kenny Clark around when he stepped into, I believe it was the headquarters of the Cowboys. He was real quiet about everything. Like he was looking around, shaking hands or whatever, but you could tell. Like the Green Bay was his only football home, in the NFL, and he just looked so uncomfortable. Maybe I'm reading it wrong or whatever, but it was like, I shouldn't be here. I should be back with my Packer teammates. I should be, there. Now I'm stuck here. And then you have to think about it too, with the negotiations going forward with Jerry. Like if it's a star player, will this happen again? Where eventually someone will rise up and their contract year will be coming up and they want to get paid right away, and all of a sudden holdout or hold-ins happen. All right, so that was the big news from last week. Now let's get into the predictions of this NFC East that has drama, I think, in all 4 teams. I really believe this. Let's go last to first. As I mentioned, for me, I got the New York Giants in last. They might improve somewhat to like 5 or 6 games wins, but Russell Wilson is on their team. And I wonder what the motto is for the Giants this year with Russell Wilson. It was Broncos country, let's ride. Stiller country, yeah. What the hell can you say about the New York Giants and Russell Wilson? They have neighbors. They have kind of a solid running game. What they're really good is with their defense, and they only got better this year with the first round draft pick that they got. Abdul Carter. This dude already is being, and I hate this, but the comparisons to Lawrence Taylor, I'm like, hold everything now, hold everything. You gotta at least be like, Carl Banks or Michael Strahan or whoever else. Like, you got to be at least better than Antonio Pierce right away when he was a Giant. But this is, and Tommy DeVito had to leave because he was cut. But they're gonna have a bad year, and eventually the reins of quarterback will be in the hands of Jackson Dart, who had a great preseason. Maybe I know their bye week though is like really, really late. I want to say week 12. I want to say. Let me look at their schedule real quick. But that's when. Yeah. I'm sorry. They have the last week. It's 14. The week 14. But the prediction for me is like Jackson Dart should start like after week 8. Or at least week 6. Russell Wilson can only do so much anymore. All right, for my third team, I guess because of the trade, I have to go Micah Parsons' old team, the Dallas Cowboys. Hard to replace. I don't care how many games he misses. Michael Parsons, as Jerry calls him. Michael Parsons. And he got the number of games wrong he missed last year. I think it was 4, and Jerry said 6. But anyway, it's hard to replace, like you said, their best defensive weapon, the one who gets in the line, gets in the backfield and either stops the run, as Jerry wants, or sacks the quarterback and makes those strip fumbles happen all the time. You're going to miss all that. You're going to have shootouts, with the other teams. They did get some other help on receiver. I'm trying to remember who was the main one that they got. George Pickens. The running backs are all older from other teams. Javonte Williams, who's always hurt, and Miles Sanders, who's didn't really work out in Carolina, you noticed. But Prescott, man, he's got the whole, pressure on his shoulder right there, literally. The secondary is just going to have to be amazing. DeRon Bland and Trevion Diggs and Malik Hooker, they're just going to have to be amazing because they're not going to get the same pass rush. With Sam Williams there and Dante Fowler Jr., the two ones that have to replace Parsons, man, that's just too much to me to replace. Second team should be the Washington Commanders. Now, this is where I am skeptical about them being as good as they were last year. Like, sophomore slumps may happen. Jalen Daniels definitely. I think he had to be rookie of the year last year, right? He did everything so well right away. But Austin Eckler is always hurt. Terry McLaurin luckily got his contract. But Deebo Samuel, and you know this, Isaiah, from his time with San Francisco. He got so out of shape after he got his deal done finally with the 49ers, right? They do have Luke McCaffrey, Christian's brother there, but Noah Brown as well. I think he caught that Hail Mary in Chicago last year. Zach Ertz, who had a pretty good year last year. Laramie Tunsil will be that left tackle that they're going to really, really look on. A pretty good, solid line. The thing I didn't like, they lost Josh Sweat, I think, to the Cardinals. Von Miller's there with Bobby Wagner. What is this, like 2014, 2015? But Javon Kinlaw's there as well. They have a quite good secondary with Lattimore, but I don't think they're going to get first place over the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles just have all the talent you want on offense, but it's everybody's basically returned, right? But on defense is what you're looking at to being the reason why they don't repeat. Saquon Barkley just had a hell of a year last year. I think he was my MVP. But Jalen Hurts did well. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard have a great line as always. But the defense is solid up front. With Davis, Carter. Linebackers are pretty good. Zach Bond, who really showed out last year. Trotter Jr., Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And it's weird saying Jr. because I remember watching his dad. Pressure's on him to really do well. And then you look at their corners. They lost 2 veterans away. So Blankenship, Cooper DeJean, Adoree Jackson is not a good cover or tackler, and you're going to see that right away. There's a reason why he's bounced from team to team. The Giants, I think, drafted him, and he just never really showed anything. Sidney Brown is there as well, but their secondary is just going to have to be awesome in order for them to win the Super Bowl again. But I'm going, Giants last, Cowboys third, the Commanders second, and then the Eagles first place. And I think Washington, again, has one of those wild card spots. So how do you see, Isaiah, the NFC East going?
I kind of see it differently than you do. And this is gonna probably be a very big hot take. And maybe a crazy prediction, but all right, let's start from last all the way to first and work our way up. For last place, I'm actually gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys. I think they had an absolute disaster of an offseason. First you bring in the wrong coach in Brian Schottenheimer. He has no business whatsoever being a head coach in the NFL.
That.
Dude,
yeah.
They fired
the yes man that was already in the building, basically.
Yes, they let go of Mike McCarthy, who did a great job calling plays. This dude Brian Schottenheimer has been fired 3 times in the last 5 years.
Seattle, I want to say.
Yeah, Seattle. I think he was Jacksonville's offensive coordinator. Jets at one point. Yeah, dude, he has been a journeyman coordinator for so long. He hasn't been interviewed for a head coach until Dallas gave him one. And I think the last time he got interviewed was when he was with Seattle, in Russell Wilson's in the Russell Wilson days. That was 2017,
17, something like that.
Yeah,
I think he ended up with the Jets with Geno Smith.
He had Geno Smith as well. But yeah, Schottenheimer has no business whatsoever being the head coach of the Cowboys. It was a stupid hire to begin with. And I think that with him calling plays and him, being the head coach, I think it's going to be an absolute disaster there in Dallas. I know Dak. The thing with Dak is he's always getting hurt now recently. And he's always very turnover prone. So I think Dak's going to be okay, but I just think the pieces around him, you talk about Lamb is there, but George Pickens is there. The offensive line is a big concern because they had a couple guys that retired over the offseason. So is Dak going to get the protection that he needs to be successful? I don't know. Can they run the football without, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard are not there anymore. So that's going to be a big concern for the Dallas Cowboys. And then the defense. I mean, Micah Parsons single-handedly kept your defense. You want to know how great Micah Parsons was, James? Micah Parsons basically made the Cowboys defense into like a top 5 defense just with his presence alone. Like after that, with him gone now, like it was Michael Parsons and that's it. With Michael Parsons being gone, like I think their defense is going to be one of the worst in the NFL. I don't know how they're going to have a top defense because like you don't have that game wrecker to set the edge. You don't have really any killer linebackers that stand out. Your secondary is kind of bland. And that's not a it was a pun unintended with that bland one and Deron Bland. But yeah, I think Dallas had a really disastrous offseason. I hate that trade of Michael Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. I got them finishing last, and honestly, I could see Schottenheimer being one and done if it goes really bad there in Dallas. Let's go to the next one. Second to last place, I got the New York Football Giants. James. Yes, I got the Giants. I think the Giants will finish ahead of the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Giants, look, Russell Wilson is not a great quarterback like he once was, but I think he'll be able to do a decent job there, just not turn the ball over, just game manage until Jackson Dart is ready. They did bring in some veterans. I like Malik Neighbors a lot. Malik Neighbors is really good as a receiver. Now he has someone to throw the ball to or that can throw him the ball. The running game, like they need to be addressed with the running game. They need to address that. They don't really have any like top running backs that stand out, but defensively, I think Abdul Carter is going to make a big impact right away for their defensive line. I think that's going to help them because they couldn't really get after the quarterback last year, and that really strained their linebackers. That made their corners get exposed. So I do think the Giants will be a little bit better than they were last season. Obviously Brian Daboll's on the hot seat. If they have another like 4-13 or 5-12 or 3-14 type season, James, I think him and the GM Joe Shane are both going to be gone, to be honest, from the New York Giants. So yeah, I got the Giants second to last. And then this is where it gets good. The Eagles versus the Commanders for first place and second place in the NFC East. I'm going to go with the Eagles at number 2, James. I think they suffered a Super Bowl hangover, but they're still more talented than Dallas. They're still more talented than the New York Giants. They'll be right there in the race, but you have Jaden Daniels. I mean, you have Jalen Hurts. You have Saquon Barkley. Dallas, the Eagles had everything basically go their way last season. I mean, Zach Bond had a, really impressive breakout season. I kind of think he's going to regress, sadly, in year 2 in Vic Fangio's defense. They had a lot of guys that were there, and they had, they had a lot of guys that were there. They had a lot of guys.
Gardner Johnson is gone, and then that other corner I'm trying to think of.
Milton Williams went to the Patriots. Their defensive tackle. Now they're expecting big things from Jordan Davis, the guy from Georgia. They lost a lot of pieces on defense. I don't know if is Landon Dickerson, their left tackle, was he going to play?
Still there? I don't know.
Because I know he got hurt. So, if someone could look on that, that'd be great. But yeah, their secondary, they lost some pieces there. I think
it's questionable. That's all I know.
Yeah, Darius Slay is gone.
He didn't practice today. Well, I don't know if anybody did. We'll know more tomorrow and Wednesday about anyone who's injured for Thursday.
Yeah, so I think the Eagles, I think they'll be fine, but I just think that like they'll drop off a little bit from where they were last season. And then I got the Commanders in first place. I think that this is a young, exciting team. Jaden Daniels in his second year under Cliff Kingsbury will just get better and better. They did fix the offensive line with Laramie Tunsil now being there in Washington. I like that move a lot. They got Deebo Samuel, whom is a gadget player. He's a guy that can, run. He's a guy that can block. I mean, not block. He's a guy that can catch. Is he what he once was? No, but if he could just be half the player he once was, I think that would be a benefit to Jaden Daniels. And then like the defense, year 200 Dan Quinn, they got some young, exciting pieces there that's just going to get better. So I think the Commanders, that young, hungry team, they're going to leapfrog Philly and be the first seed or first win or the number one team in the NFC East.
That is crazy.
But I have it like you, Philly and Washington. It'll be the battle for number one and number
Okay.
two in the NFC East.
Okay. The one thing I mentioned though about Washington, I'm really afraid Samuel's gonna poison that locker room and that field. I just have a weird feeling Washington's gonna regress just a little bit having Samuel there. I know he lost a little weight ever since we saw him back in the OTAs, but already there was concern, let's just say, for for the NFC East and the Commanders. Like I said, the whole division's got some question marks. Let me say this. NFC North, though, I really don't know where to go with this. Do you believe in the Bears? Do you trust the Lions again after they've got into the door but couldn't knock it down again? Green Bay Packers, how are they going to treat their new expensive toy? And how will Matthew Golden do, being the true number one receiver? Minnesota Vikings, they don't have Sam Darnold anymore because they didn't want to pay him for being mediocre when you really needed him the most. JJ McCarthy, now at the helm from the preseason injury he had last year. Where to go? All right. I'm going to go Chicago Bears, fourth, last place. It started in training camp where Caleb Williams was having issues with passing the ball and then having a hard time with Ben Johnson's play call and playbook. There seemed to be too much terminology for Williams, and maybe it was dumbed down a little bit. I hate to say that, but I think that's what happened. And Caleb looked okay in his third game of preseason against Buffalo. He really carved the defense apart. But now the real season begins with Caleb Williams, and the it feels like he's been there forever, but it's only his second year. But already, another player, another offensive system that he's going to have to, go through. All right, you look at the running backs, DeAndre Swift, you're hoping he can stay healthy, but they have a lot of other young guys. DJ Moore, Roma Adunze, man, this dude really balled at Washington, balled out. You're just hoping he can be that, that spark that if he gets the ball, he could really make things happen. Their line is pretty good. Joe Tooney coming over from the Chiefs. That's a really good player. But they get Montez Sweat, Grady Jarrett, Tremaine Edwards, the former Bill. Their secondary is still pretty good. But I think it all comes down to Caleb Williams and what he can and, most importantly, what he can't do. So I got them in last. I just don't believe in them just yet. Third, I have the Minnesota Vikings. Again, this is the first year with J.J. McCarthy starting. I guess you could say his rookie year, but it's not. You have Aaron Jones at running back, and Jordan Mason's there to back him up. You have Justin Jefferson questionable with the, I think it was a hamstring injury or anything that will deter him from being great at the start. And he's been having this issue for a good month or so. By the way, Jordan Addison is suspended, I think, the first 4 games. And I think it is the first 4 games. I know he's been speeding on some highways, and he finally got caught. Adam Thielen got a trade back to his home state. So he's back with the Minnesota Vikings. TJ Hawkinson is there as their good tight end with Josh Oliver. Offensive line with Ryan Kelly, he's all right. But, I think it's all on J.J. McCarthy. If he can air it out well, if he can stay upright and be healthy. But we have to see about Jefferson and how he's going to be. We got to see that. And then how much Thielen can help out the Vikings again. Defensively, they have one of the best in the league. I truly believe this. You have Harrison Smith still out there, Brian Murphy, Metellus in the secondary, Van Ginkel, who's just been awesome since his last year with the Miami Dolphins. Jonathan Allen, though, coming over from Washington, being a defensive end. One guy I'm looking at, your former Niner free agent, Javon Hargrove. It seems like he missed the last 2 years with injury, and he really hasn't been the same since he left the Philadelphia Eagles. And it feels like he's going to have to be a big, big, big piece in this defense right there. But I think like last year, I think they're going to have to get some help to get into the wild card. But I think that all depends on the NFC South and what happens with that. I think after your predictions, we'll read all the comments and answer the questions. Detroit Lions, though, I think will be in first place, but I think they're going to struggle. I'm sorry, Green Bay Packers will be number 2. There's already everybody putting them as number 1. For me, though, Jordan Love, he's going to have a better year. I know he had some injury concerns in training camp. Josh Jacobs, when will he start to fall? You have to wonder about that. But he had a great year with Green Bay last year. He really made me not angry, just like maybe they should have kept him. With Matthew Golden, I think they finally got a number 1, and I don't think they've picked the number 1 threat for a quarterback since Donald Driver, or I don't even know. But they're hoping Matthew Golden can be golden for them. Romeo Dobbs, he's all right, but he's not number 1. Jalen Reed, I think he likes to drop some balls. Christian Watson, same thing, but he's already out for the game against Detroit coming up. Tucker Kraft, he had a great year last year as their tight end. Offensive line is going to have to be a little better. They're a little younger at offensive line. And the defense now. You look at Rashawn Gary and Michael Parsons at the ends. That's pretty good. And it also gives Lucas Van Ness, their draft pick out of Iowa last year, some time to really learn under Michael Parsons, right? And really get better backing up Parsons at the right defensive end. Quay Walker is going to have to be awesome for the linebacking core. And their secondary, again, without Jazeer Alexander, that's going to be interesting. They have Keyshawn Nixon and Nate Hobbs, former Raiders, that are going to have to pick up the pace there. But I think they get in as a wild card. But the thing is, it's all going to come down to Jordan Love and how well he does. But, okay, even though I'm going to pick them first, Detroit, I feel like there's some grave concerns, right, to be the same that you've been, right? And they're a team where, hey, their window's there, but how long is it going to be open for? What are you really going to be like? Can you get over the hump this time? Can you not falter to a hot team like they did against Washington in the divisional round? Can you not falter in the championship game like you did 2 years ago against the Niners? Can you truly be that number 1 seed and prove it? Or number 2 seed, whatever. Can you be someone with home field advantage and take care of business? It feels like the Lions are going to struggle throughout the season. It's not going to be as pure, but they're still going to be in first place. This division is going to be really close with the top 2 teams. But Jared Goff, you know what you get. Gibbs and Montgomery, they're just 2 awesome running backs. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, they're all those 2 are just great. Sam Laporte is really good. The offensive line's really, really good. Sewell, Glasnow, Decker. They lost somebody recently. I think they retired they went to another team. Remember the guy that he got the penalty against Dallas? They said he didn't check. He didn't signal that he was a live receiver or whatever, but I think he's gone. But Agent Hutchinson is back from his horrible injury last year. We'll see if he's the same or if he lost a little bit of his explosiveness. Marcus Davenport is there. DJ Reader's inside. Alex Enzone. This dude is just everywhere around the ball. He's going to be a great linebacker for him. Jack Campbell from Iowa is going to have to step up a bit. And then what I tell you all the time, the thing that really hinders the Lions back against a passing team is their secondary. I mean, Amika Robertson did things he never did with the Raiders. I mean, he had so many picks last year, whatever the case was. He was really good for him. DJ Reed, Brian Branch, who was a great, great draft pick in the first round, I think a couple of years ago. I know Packer fans wanted him, but that didn't happen. Terrion Arnold's going to be great, but they're going to have to stop the long passes, right? And Rocket Sin is there. I haven't seen that name in a while. Backing up Reed. But it's going to come down to the secondary, and then it's going to come down to expectations being real high. And if they can exceed them. If not, they're going to bow out again in the playoffs, and that's what I'm worried about. But the division just got tougher with Micah Parsons in it. That's definitely true. So after your predictions, let's get to some comments, Isaiah.
All right. I've been chomping at the bit to tell
I'm
you
scared
my
to know this.
prediction. I'm ready, man. I wanted to do it this afternoon, but then I got some stuff. I got some blisters in my mouth, so I can't really talk that well. So I'm ready, man. I'm ready for this. Number 4, man. I'm actually gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings.
Whoa, yeah.
When you look at the Vikings schedule, James, I think there's a big possibility that the Minnesota Vikings finish 5-12 because I look at the schedule. They got a really tough schedule. They got Chicago, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Cleveland's going to be an easy game. But then after that, they got the bye week. But then after that, they got the Philadelphia Eagles. They got the Chargers. They got at Detroit, Baltimore, Chicago, at Green Bay, at Seattle, Washington, Dallas, New York Giants, Detroit, and Green Bay. Like, I could see Minnesota struggling mightily with that schedule and just finishing with a really bad season just because they're going to be facing either playoff teams or teams that are going to be close to making the playoffs. So, and with the rookie quarterback, which, I mean, I know it's not his official rookie year, but let's face it, this is his rookie year. It's his first time starting. They take some time, to get used to the NFL, to adjust to the speed of the NFL. I think it's going to take McCarthy some time. I know they have a really good running game with Aaron Jones. They have a really good offensive line. Weapons. I mean, Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the entire NFL, but I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. That's the thing. I don't really trust him. I think it's going to take him some time. I think he's going to struggle. And I think that, he's going to have to go through some growing pains. And I think that that's really going to cost the Vikings a lot of games this season. And then the defense, I felt like they were decent last year. They added some pieces like Jonathan Allen. They added Javon Hargraves, like you mentioned. They also picked up Jeff Okudah from the Detroit Lions. who has been injured. He's been on and off, but I think when you look at the Minnesota Vikings, like I just think that this is a team, tough schedule. It's a team in transition. I think this team, sadly, it's going to take them at least 1 to 2 years for McCarthy to get comfortable. I think they're going to finish in last place. Number 3, I'm actually going to go with the Bears. I love Ben Johnson. I think he's a really good offensive mind. I think he's very creative. He's proven in some of the mic'd up videos and in his press conferences that he's a tremendous leader of men as well. I think for Caleb Williams now, it's put up or shut up time. He's got that offensive coach, that offensive guru, quarterback developer now. So he's got to be able to play well. But I think when you look at the Bears, I think that the one player on offense that I'm really excited to see is Rome Onduzzi.
Yep.
Because I think Matt Eberflus did a piss poor job of or that offensive staff did a really bad job of really integrating him into the offense. He's got great skill. I mean, this guy is a really good pass catcher. He can go up and get the ball. He's just really athletic, and I think that Ben Johnson's going to do a way better job of getting him the ball. They did pick up Joe Thuney, like you mentioned. I think that's going to really help their offensive line. They picked up Jonah Jackson as well, the former Detroit Lion, I think. And then they also picked up Keenan Allen as well. Or no.
Keenan Allen's Chargers, sadly.
Yeah, he's a Charger. That's right. But yeah, I think when you look at the Bears, I think the offensive line will be better than last season. I don't think it's going to be great, but I think it's going to be improved. Wide receivers wise, they've got some young guys in there that weren't really utilized that I think will have a big role in the offense. I think Ben Johnson will do a good job of putting Caleb in position to succeed, but not turn the ball over a lot. And then I also think with the Bears, they have to get the running game going because with Ben Johnson, his offense is predicated on running the football like he did in Detroit, and they have DeAndre Swift in Detroit. I think for him, it's tough because he's been that back that's been very inconsistent. He's had moments where he looked great, and then he's had really bad moments. So I don't know how much to count on him. I think that he's a guy that could shine in Ben Johnson's offense, but it's kind of wait and see right now. And then the defense for the Chicago Bears, it looked like after they got Montez Sweat that they were really good. They got after the quarterback a lot, but I can't wait to see with Dennis Allen's defense how they really do. The secondary, I think, will be a red flag. I think it's going to be a problem for them, but I can't wait to see Montez Sweat and Dennis Allen's defense. Dennis Allen knows how to use pass rushers and utilize them well, so it's going to be interesting to see. But I got the Bears.
He's not a good head coach.
He's not a good head coach at all. Like,
I just had to say that.
Trash, yeah. Can I give my number 1 before I give my number 2? Because I
hate when people do that, but go ahead.
Roll the video, guys. Roll the video. This is who I got my first place. Give me the cheeseheads, James. Give me the Green Bay Packers as my number 1. Let me say why I got Detroit as number 2 right now first, though, before I go and jump all in and talk about the Packers. Detroit, look, I think they're going to have a difficult time getting over that demoralizing loss to the Commanders. Like sometimes when you lose in the playoffs, and James, you know this, when you have a heartbreaking loss in the playoffs and you're a top team, it takes time to get over it. Like the Niners lost the Super Bowl, and guess what? They had to take a whole year. They couldn't get over it. Like guys were fighting in the locker room, guys were fighting on the sidelines. It takes time to get over that stuff. And so I think the Lions will be hung over from that defeat to the Commanders. They lost both coordinators. Ben Johnson is gone. Aaron Glenn is gone. Aaron Glenn did do a good job with that patchwork of a defense. They had so many injuries last year. But I think when you look at Detroit, Ben Johnson's gone. The downgrade is they replaced him with John Morton. and David Shaw as their offensive coordinators. Like,
Wow.
John Morton is a guy that's known for being like a guy that, I know he was with Sean Payton in Denver last year, but you remember when he called the plays for the Jets with Rex Ryan and with and the Raiders when he was like their, I believe, your offensive coordinator, or was he was a Raider, I know, at one point, or 2 stints, but he's a guy that's known for like a Jim Harbaugh, Michigan like offense where it's like power running game. We're just going to pound it up the gut and then like that's it, and not really utilize and not have a lot of creativity on the passing game. Like I just think like for Detroit, like that was not a good hire. And I think you're going to see it offensively. I think they're going to struggle. I think they're not really going to be that creative in the passing game. They're going to focus a lot on running the football with Jahmyr Gibbs and all the talented running backs that they have. Offensive line, remember, they did lose. They lost 2 big offensive linemen. I forget their names. I think it was shoot. You had one of them retired too, I think. Let me pull it up real quick. But Frank Ragnall.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, he retired. It was very unexpected. He retired, and also Kevin Zeitler, who was a big part of their offensive line, he went.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he went to the Tennessee Titans. So like Detroit's offensive line is gonna be up and upheaval now because of those 2 losses. So I think Detroit's offense is going to take a step back. I think defensively they've never really been that great. Aiden Hutchinson, we'll see how he does, coming back from the injury. Like you said, does he have that burst again, or did he, lose it? Sadly, they have one of the better safeties in the NFL in Kirby Joseph. The secondary is a big concern for them, but you look at their schedule, right? They got at Green Bay to start the season. That's going to be a fun matchup right away. They got Chicago, then at Baltimore, then Cleveland, Cincinnati, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. And then they have Minnesota, Washington, Philly, Giants, Green Bay, Dallas, Rams, Pittsburgh. I think they're going to struggle out of the gate, and I think that the Lions they're going to have like a hangover year. So I got them in second. And James, this is a hot take. I don't think the Lions are going to make the playoffs, to be honest.
Whoa.
I don't. I think they lost a lot. Coordinators. They lost 7 coaches. They lost their quarterbacks coach. They lost their running backs coach. They lost their tight ends coach. A lot of coaches on the defensive side of the ball as well. So they have a lot of brain drain. They lost a lot of offensive linemen. I think Goff is going to run around for his life. So I think this is a year in transition for Detroit right now before next season. And then number 1, I'm going with the Packers, man. I'm going with the Cheeseheads. Don't you just want to watch that?
You're wearing a 49er jersey, Brock Purdy jersey. What if they meet in the NFC Championship game and that video goes at? What is wrong with you? And by the way, Johnny Morton, I remember him as a receiver with the Lions, so maybe it was like, oh yeah, just come back to the organization. We saw you do some good elsewhere. But yeah, I agree with you with the Lions. But tell me why the Packers are gonna be number 1 in the North.
If we did this episode like a week ago, I probably would have said Detroit number 1, Green Bay number 2, Bears number 3, Minnesota number 4. But the Micah Parsons trade, James, changed everything, because the thing with Green Bay is we know they can score, right? They have a good offensive line. They can run the ball. Last year, I wrote down these stats. The Green Bay Packers, they were top 5 in the NFL in rushing. So we know they can run the football. Jordan Love can air it. He's like Dak. He's sometimes prone to turning the ball over and throwing a lot of stupid interceptions, but they can score the ball. Like they have Reed, they have the tight end Kraft, they have Romeo Dobbs, who are good complementary receivers. And then, like you said, they got the guy out of Texas, Golden, who
Matthew Golden's gonna have to be great right away. I feel like
they also have Christian Watson too, don't they? Or
he's out with an injury, but he's got to be better than last year. There were some key drops he had that really derailed their season, especially in the playoffs. He's got to do better, man. Maybe some healthy competition will help him.
No, for sure. And I think he's gonna miss the first 4 games of the season because he tore his ACL like middle last season.
It was week 18 when he shouldn't have been out there, but they were playing for seeding. I think that was against the Bears. Yeah. It was week 18, and he shouldn't have been out there, but everybody played.
Yeah, so he's gonna be back in the middle of the season. We'll see how he is, but I mean the Packers can score. For them, the major weakness was the defense. And Jerry Jones, I mean, the Green Bay Packers should ship like a boatload of cheese and Wisconsin meat to Jerry Jones because you basically got the Packers from a middle tier team to now being a top contender in the NFC. I mean, the Green Bay Packers, Micah Parsons single-handedly got the Cowboys from a bland defense, from a middle tier defense, lower bottom tier defense, to a top 5 defense in the NFL because he was always wrecking opponents and you couldn't stop him. And even if you double team or triple team, then you have the other guys around him that would be able to get after the quarterback because they would be in one-on-one matchups. Well, now you have that in Green Bay with Micah Parsons. They've never had a game-changing game wrecker before. Now they have him. I think that they'll be able to get after the quarterback. They'll be able to disrupt the timing of the quarterback and also be able to stop the run. And then, with the quarterbacks, having to rush, throw the football, it's going to help the secondary because, they're going to be able to get a lot of interceptions and a lot of turnovers from the pass rushers affecting the quarterback. So the Packers got the defense. They got the superstar pass rusher. They know how to score the ball. I got to go with Green Bay. I think this team, and James, I'll be shocked if the Green Bay Packers, believe it or not, are not in the NFC Championship game.
The expectations when you make that type of trade is that and more, obviously. And everybody is starting to feel that pressure right away with Parsons going to the Packers from Dallas. Let's get to some comments before we get out of here. Maybe some questions, and we'll have answers like that one hardware store back in the day. You've got questions. We've got answers. I forget what that was, and comments as well. SGA Sports Talk Channel. That's what's his name. Thoughts on Chardol? North Carolina's football quarterback Gio Lopez exited the game with a back injury. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. See,
I thought it was a leg injury.
But it looked like a leg injury, but maybe stretched out his back going for that fumble. So it could be a multiple two things. But that's what it was. He got tackled and the strip sack happened. That was returned for that touchdown. Thank you, Chardol, on that. I did notice, he was twisted a certain way, and that is never good for someone down on the pile. Next.
Yeah, my thoughts on this is simple.
Oh, yeah.
My thoughts on this is that prayers go up to him. Hopefully he gets well, but Gio Lopez should never see the field again for UNC. I'm sorry. He sucks. I mean, James, I think I could throw the football better than Gio Lopez.
What happened after that first drive, though? Like, why can't you multiply that every drive? And I bet in practice he was throwing well.
He had one throw, though, that drive. Like, I don't think because they ran it for most of that drive.
That running back did all the work, I guess.
That running back, yeah, for sure. But to Chardol's point, if you're Belichick, you starting Gio Lopez or Max Johnson in the next game?
You got to give Mac Johnson. No, you have to give Gio Lopez a chance to win it back. Plus, you're paying, you could treat it like a preseason game where you play both. You really could.
So you're gonna go you're gonna split snaps between
first half, second half, and if he doesn't look good in the first half, I'm going to Johnson.
Okay,
that's what I'm doing. I'm treating it like he should treat it like a preseason game. Nathaniel saying our thoughts and your thoughts on your fantasy roster. I want you to go first on yours.
Let me I think he's talking about I think
you get mine out too.
I'm in a league with Nate on ESPN.
Oh, okay.
I think we drafted today, but to be honest, I think I drafted the first player and then I forgot about.
You want me to do mine while you look up yours?
Yeah, do yours right now.
Okay, so I did get Pat Mahomes. I got Drake London. That was the first pick. I was the last out of 12 or 13 players. So, yikes.
12.
Devontae Adams, Aston JT, Chaba Hubbard, Tyler Warren, Isaiah Pacheco, Younghoe Koo, Denver's defense, Pittsburgh's defense, Ojibwa from Tampa, Goddard, Love, Mims Jr., Coker. They said they have empty slots. Oh, okay. I'm gonna make some moves. Anyway, I got a D plus on my grade, and I was kind of pissed about it. They were, Yahoo was kind of like just like really going hard on me for getting Tyler Warren. Hopefully Daniel Jones can find him and shut Yahoo up. They were really dissing me. That wasn't fun. They were roasting me in the comments. I didn't like it.
All right, so this is my ESPN roster that was in the league with Nate. I'm just looking at it for the first time, so you're about to see my raw, genuine reaction. I have Bo Nix as my starting quarterback. We're not off to the best starts already. He's not bad, but he's not the greatest. Bijan Robinson is my running back, so I guess that's
I
great.
wanted him. He didn't even last he didn't last long. I think he was like second or third picked in our draft.
Yeah, dude, he was gone after like pick number 3, I think. Someone took him
3 or 4. He was gone. I was pissed.
Jonathan Taylor is my other running back, which, hey, they're going to be running the ball a lot in Indy because of
but Daniel Jones is going to take some carries away from him if he's running.
Oh,
that's one thing to look at.
So, I mean, Nate, to your point, running back wise, I think it's good because I have Robinson and Taylor, so I'm set there. Wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. It's kind of hit or miss with him. Hopefully his late season surge, was something that he can carry over. DJ Moore from the Bears. I mean, Caleb, your ass better throw him the damn ball. I'm telling you that right now.
I avoided him right away in the fantasy.
George Kittle is my tight end. Yeah, it's not bad.
They're going to go to him more now because the receivers you're not sure about. That's a good thing if you have Kittle.
That's true. My flex is Josh Jacobs. So I guess I have
That's
Jacobs,
a good pick.
Robinson and Taylor. That's crazy.
That's a good running back room.
Woo.
That's Pro Bowlers.
God, defense is Seahawks defense. So
they're gonna have to do a lot of. They're gonna be on the field a lot. It feels like with Seattle's offense. So they're gonna have to create turnovers, but they're gonna get fatigued more than usual.
And then Kaimi Fairbairn from the Texans is my kicker.
He's one of the most accurate kickers in the league, and he showed it last year with Houston. He won a lot of games for them too last year, I want to say.
And then James, let me read you off my bench. I'll read you off the whole bench. Oh my God, this whole bench is filled with guys that I was ranting to you about in the call. Why I'm going to take them in the other league. So my bench goes like this: Jerome Ford, running back from the Browns; Juwan Jennings, wide receiver from the Niners; Chris Olave, wide receiver from the Saints; Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver from the Niners; some dude named Will Robinson, who I've never heard of, wide receiver from the New York Giants. I think he's a wide receiver for them. Khalil Shakir, which is a good pick.
That's a good one because Josh throws it.
I think he's wide receiver 1, right, for the Bills, or wide receiver 2 for the Bills.
I think
Ben was hyping him up on our.
He's AFC. 1. Keon Cole's probably 2. Yeah.
And then last but not least, I mean, yikes, Blake Tutin, the running back from the Jaguars.
There's a lot of good rapport on him coming out of camp. It's going to be him and someone and ETN, right? They're looking at Tutin to do a little better.
Yeah. So I was telling James, we got off the call in our fantasy football draft yesterday. I was telling James, these are the players to avoid. Juwan Jennings, because you don't know if he's going to play, right? Because he's got that calf injury. And these calf injuries, like we see with the NBA, they typically lead to torn Achilles. Not saying that it's as bad as an Achilles, but, it's a ticking time bomb. Olave is a concussion away from retirement.
But who's throwing to him in New Orleans? Spencer
Uh,
Rattler, if he's not doing it with his arm, he's going to do it with his leg. He's going to panic.
legs.
He's going to get out of the pocket and run. Olave's going to
Tyler,
have to. And
Tyler
also,
Show.
he was dropping a little bit of passes
Yeah.
last year, Olave. He was. Who's their other receiver? I forget in New Orleans. I'm trying to remember.
It's Shaheed. Rashid.
Oh,
Shaheed.
he's pretty good. He got some fantasy points last year.
And then, I mean, the other guys, like, I'm not a big fan of Tootin because I'm just like, he's gonna be like, he could be in a potential running back by committee, with Bigsby and with Travis Etienne. So like,
That's who I meant,
really-
Bigsby.
Yeah,
But
Bigsby,
Etienne, he's been overworked his whole career, and eventually he's gonna miss a game. You know how the running back, you know, how they carry their pills a lot, and they go to work more than every day. It seems like in the NFL.
Oh, and by the way, it wasn't Will Robinson. It's Wendell Robinson, the receiver from the Giants.
Sounds like a coach's name. It don't even sound like a player's name.
I know, right?
Well, we'll find out who he is.
When I saw Robinson, I was like, "Is that Aldrick Robinson?" You remember Aldrick Robinson, the receiver? But
yeah, and then I was thinking of the Rams one.
Yeah.
Went to somewhere else, but he suspended the first 4 games, I think, too.
Oh, DeMarcus, he's on the Niners.
Yeah, isn't he's suspended, right?
He suspended 6 games.
6 games, jeez. Not only to add to what you already got going on up there.
Hey, but I'll finish
receiver room is going to be silent. Pretty
I'm
much.
glad you brought up that wide receiver room though, because
oh boy,
they want to finish
Pearsall.
up with Ricky Pearsall, man. That's my breakout candidate, James. I think Ricky Pearsall.
He has to be. There's no other choice.
Oh yeah. So Nate, to get to your question, I probably graded like a B because like I like my running backs, wide receivers are okay, quarterback is Bo Nix, who knows?
C-.
Defense Seahawks D is garbage, so gotta make a
C-. C-.
So
You're lucky I'm not saying D.
You don't like that roster? You don't like
I like
it?
the running backs, I like the quarterback, but the defenses and the receivers are very, very iffy.
Should I tell the folks out there who I got from my Yahoo that we drafted?
Nah, because Nathaniel only wanted to know y'all.
Kyler Murray is my quarterback.
Oh, that's going to be awful. That's not worth it.
Let's see. We have other comments. Appreciate Nathaniel says, I guess this is referring to
the 28th is that Sunday night game with the Cowboys hosting the Packers and Micah Parsons coming back, and Jerry Jones going to be up in the booth. Do we used to have that guy? I want him back. Why does he keep stacking Dak Prescott? This isn't practice. you could just see the memes, and the Dallas Cowboy fans are pissed, and and the season hasn't even already started yet. It's like, and I really thought like the deal was gonna get done, like eventually with all the other deals that got done with McLaurin and Hendrickson. It was like, but there's an outside chance where you're thinking, okay, it's Jerry now. He likes to do things his way. And look what happened. He's the only one that held out or held in and didn't get a deal done with that team. Just off. I'm going to be looking forward to that game. I'll be watching.
I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Since you bring it up, so we're talking about this Parsons trade, right? What's the worst trade? Micah's deal or Luka going to
Khalil Mack?
No.
Oh, you mean for the city of Dallas? Oh, God.
Yeah.
I think because of the city of Dallas, because you're like, okay, he's only offense, and NBA is so offense, and he was going to be their team's pillar, like Dirk Nowitzki was, where he was never going to be on another team. He was drafted by another team and traded, just like Dirk was, right? So
right.
I think it was Milwaukee, by the way, who drafted Dirk and traded him. 1998, I want to say, or 9. But I think it's Luka because that's the franchise.
Right.
Like, that's your main player. He scores pretty much all of the points and the big plays. With the Cowboys, at least, you didn't trade like your quarterback, which is the most
Yeah,
important
yeah.
position on the team. On any American sport team, it's quarterback. And then you have CD Lamb, who that's like one of the best duos when they connect. When they don't connect, they have problems like they did on the sideline in Pittsburgh last year, if you recall, where CD Lamb was yelling at everybody who could listen, keeping that number 88 spirit alive in Dallas with
Oh yeah.
Irvin and Des Bryant, by the way. Yeah, so I think Luka's hurt more because there was talk too about relocation, right? Like once they made that trade, the new ownership was there, and people were questioning if they were going to move the Mavericks out of Dallas after this trade. I mean, that's how bad it got. So I just say Luka just because he was a number one threat on that team altogether. Like he might not be off defensively, but nobody plays defense in the NBA.
It's crazy because like you look at the similarities, right? Both guys were drafted by a Dallas-based team. Both guys you expected to be like legends, and they were on the way to being legends. Both guys got traded to the team's arch rival, like
in the
Packers.
playoff.
Yeah, like the Packers. You ask Cowboy fans, who do you hate the most? It's not the Giants. It's not it's the Eagles. But
Eagles.
it's also
Number
the
one
Green
is
Bay
Eagles.
Packers. Yeah, it's Eagles, but then number 2 is probably Green Bay.
49ers. 49ers.
I think
just because of the playoff matches they've had where it meant the older Cowboy fan will say the Niners because of all the championship games they've been to. 81, 94, 95. Recently, they've played each other and Dak kept screwing the game up. And then you have Green Bay, but the only thing it's like a one-sided rivalry right now, and it just got worse for Dallas because all the playoff games that Green Bay won in Dallas, all the regular season games that they won, it's not even a rivalry right now, and it just got worse again for Dallas. They have the Ice Bowl, they have a lot of the things against Dallas. And they have more, championships if you count it all together than the Cowboys. So it's like, I just think it is a rival, but you only see them in the playoffs. And you see them once in the regular season. And then after that, you don't think about them really.
Yeah. But I mean, like you look at chief rival and then the Mavericks and Lakers. Like you ask Maverick fans, who do you hate the most? It's the Lakers. Like Mark Cuban never wanted to do business with LA.
With the Lakers, yeah. He never.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't trade. I know it was weird when they got Lamar Odom. That was weird.
Yeah.
That whole trade back in the day. But they had to add a third team in it though.
Remember, he was the owner that he was one of the owners along with Dan Gilbert that went to the league and protested the Chris Paul deal.
Really?
Yeah, I remember like hearing reports.
Well, thank God that worked out because Chris Paul's back with the Clippers. I'm gonna see him. I think it's October 5th or October 9th here locally. I'm gonna see him in the Clippers. It's gonna be great. I was trying to think who is Dallas's. It has to be the Spurs or the Suns. But that's old school.
That's like
it's not
old
new
school. Yeah.
Because it was Nash Duncan against Dirk, basically.
But
now it's like first round with Dirk. It's just like with Luka, it's like okay, it's whoever they play. It was the Clippers. It's almost the Clippers, but they always lose in the first round.
Was that a rivalry though? Like, was that
in the playoffs? It was, but it wasn't in the regular season. But again, Dallas always had the upper hand, but there was never really a playoff rivalry with Luka. It was just now there's going to be, but but Dallas, man, you have two icons of the sports venue now, and just like that, it's gone within 6 months. I think it is, or 7 months, whatever it was. And the Cowboys just got worse. The Rangers are pretty much out of the playoffs. you have to hope the Dallas Stars, whoever follows hockey, can like overcome playoff losses.
Yep.
Other from that, you got nothing else going on with Dallas.
Well, if history repeats itself, I mean, they should be landing Arch Manning, right? Because they'll be getting the number
They
one
did
pick.
get Cooper Flagg, so you're hoping that you
They
get
did.
Arch Manning in a couple of years to replace Dak
Exactly.
Prescott.
Exactly.
Oh boy. Yikes.
But
Yikes.
yeah, but I agree with you, James. I think the Luka trade is worse just because Luka is.
You saw the response of the fans too.
Yeah,
like the next day.
I feel like Parsons, his impact was like defense. He single-handedly led that defense, but I mean, if you look at the Cowboys, it's like Dak, CD, Parsons. It's not like you're taking just the heart and soul of that team away. While Lucas is like, to your point, they took away the soul, the heart, the engine, the best player of that team. And not only that, you traded him to the Lakers and you didn't even get much in return. I mean, just like the Cowboys, but
inside
you only
deal.
got AD, you got a first round pick. You didn't even get Connect. You didn't even get Reeves. You didn't get any of that.
Inside deal to get Cooper Flagg too.
Yeah. So
it was on.
my.
By the way, too, the difference between the trades, Luka didn't even know that he was getting traded.
Yeah.
Parsons wanted to get traded after a while. Like, it's a tale of two different trades too when it comes out of this.
Yeah, true. But there are similarities though. So
yeah, and then the fans just like remember they revolted against the Mavs' new ownership and everything. With the Cowboys, it was like, okay, we knew this shit was gonna happen again.
Jerry
and again.
being Jerry.
Jerry's gonna run this team down, and boom, it happened again. But in a worse way because you trade your best player on the defense. Okay,
right.
That was fun.
Let's go back to the comments. Nate, you can read it, James.
Wow. Okay. From worst to first, the Cowboys, the Giants, Washington, and the Eagles. I don't mind that. It's just how far Dallas falls. We have to see that this year, how bad, Prescott and Lamb and Pickens. Oh, Pickens on the sideline with Lamb. That is going to be an explosion if things aren't going well. But anyway, they're going to have to outscore. Like Diggs, Trevion Diggs, Bland, all those corners, they're going to have to make some great picks. Like some outlandish, interceptions to make things happen. They're going to have some pick sixes. They're not getting that rush up front, too. So the quarterback's going to have more time to do what he wants to do, dissect the defense. Ooh, I can see with Dallas being last, but because of names and because of talent, you have to put them above the Giants right now. Sammy's saying the Eagles are going 0-1. Now, remember what I said to you on the phone, I think the other day? I said, like, hey, Banner Night is hard.
Yes.
To play that game because luckily they're not giving out rings like they do like in the other three main sports, right? Where they give you the rings, they raise the banner. You have a ring night, in the off season, I think when you meet up for camp or whatever. But it's tough because the coach has to keep reminding you like, hey, we got a game tonight. Like, yeah, we'll celebrate last year, but after that, screw it. It happened last year. We have to get ready for this year. Remember in the Last Dance, like Phil Jackson, I think they had him in the locker room in 97, 98. And they were like, okay, so last year happened. Let's get focused on this game. Let's go. So it's hard to do that. And then the expectations, of course, are higher. And the Cowboys, but it's the reason that I think the Eagles are going to win, though, because the Cowboys right now are like, wait, Michael was just here. And he's the best, especially that defense. It's like, yo, Michael was just here, dude. And he's the best we had. And now you expect us to go beat the world champions? Nobody's betting on the Cowboys right now to do what Sammy's saying.
Sammy, I want badly for the Eagles to go 0-1 because I don't like Philly at all, but I can't see it, man. Like, I think Dallas, they just lost Parsons. Their defense is going to be absolutely rubbish this season. They could outscore people. Could they outscore the Eagles and do a shootout? Yes. But I mean, the Eagles are just going to run the ball. They're going to use time. They're going to, they're going to run the football, and then they're just going to play that conservative brand of football. But that defense, Vic Fangio is going to get after Dak. I expect Dak to turn the football over a couple of times, and I don't know if it's going to be close on Thursday, James. Like, I hope it's better
I
than
don't
the
think
North
it's going to
Carolina
be.
TCU game.
No, it won't be that bad, I don't think.
No. Okay. Go, Sammy, about the NFC North.
Gotta remember, the Lions was running their practice team defense by the time the playoffs. Yeah, they had. I can't remember how many they had, but you just hope that it was the linebacker Alazone, Hutchinson. They had to bring in a bunch of I think Clowney was actually a Lion. I want to say that they brought in. Or
Gary
no,
on Conley.
no, Javon Clowney. I think.
Yeah, Clowney, yeah.
I think he was but they had players from like 2015 come to the Lions, playing defense. So you're hoping that's not going to happen again, but also I just think the expectations are so damn high to like break
Yeah.
that damn door down that they could self-destruct, not just because of injury, just because of all the expectations. But you know me, if the Raiders ain't winning, I want the underdog to get in. So I'm really
So you want
pulling
the
for
Niners to
Detroit.
win?
No, I'm really pulling or Rams. But I really want Detroit. Detroit, like this is their window. How long is Jared Goff going to be there and producing? When you have to pay the other receivers and the other running backs, eventually you're going to have to not have one, and it'll probably be Montgomery gone. So it's all on the Lions not to self-destruct. Nathaniel says for his last to first, Minnesota, Chicago, Green Bay, basically I didn't say that, but Lions at first. It'll be interesting for third place. That's all I have to say.
I mean, that pick is basically a combination of your picks and my picks because I had the Vikings in
Yeah.
last. You had the Lions in first. So yeah, that's
It's
kind of
interesting with the Vikings. It's like everybody expects them to be the playoff team, playoff team, but they have holes they have to fill, and injuries are not, and suspensions aren't their friend right now.
Nope.
Nathaniel says, fun fact, Dennis Allen and I went to the same high school.
Oh, wow.
Colorado? Somewhere in Colorado, I want to say.
Yeah, probably somewhere in Colorado.
But do you have his coaching record, Nathaniel? That's the problem. Head coaching record.
Let's see.
Nathaniel also says, ESPN told me I have an F after I've had AJ Brown and Amonte Brown. But who is throwing to them, and what is your defense? That's the key.
And what is your running backs?
Yeah, that's true. That's why it could be changes in that grading.
I mean, James, I know we talked about some fantasy football on the show already, but the thing with fantasy football is I feel like the strategy is like I think we talked about this. The running backs is you got to get that anchor down because the wide receiver, you can get that 5th round all the way to the 11th round, because there's so much parity when it comes to receivers right now in the NFL.
Yeah. But you want the main ones. That's why I went receiver kind of quick. I understood running backs and I did that, but I was literally stuck with Drake London as one of the best available when I got my first pick. And then Devontae Adams was there too, so I was like, all right, I'm good with this. Oh yeah, I'm good with number ones.
Isn't Devontae is he a number 1 or number 2 on the Rams?
To me, respectively, right? I would say, the big play threat, and Stafford's going to be ready for week 1, expected to play. Yep. You're hoping for yardage wise, he's number 1, but with Puka, he's almost like Cup, where he's going to go inside more, but Puka can also go deep. So it's funny the dynamic with those two. It's going to be fun to see how it all ends up, but it's all in Stafford, of course.
Right. Yeah, he is playing, by the way, on
Expected to
Sunday.
play, but how long and how well against
One hit,
Houston?
one
That's
hit
what
to
I'm
the
worried
back,
about.
though.
That
Ooh.
offensive line is good, but it's like last year, the same thing where it's like, is he going to retire? Is he going to be playing? And we have the same doubt this year. But he showed us last year.
Yeah.
What's the next one? Oh, I have like 5 abilities. Josh Allen, Brees Hall. I think RJ Harvey and Brees Hall, those two are on the downtrot. And that's why you had at running back too, that's kind of your the doubts that they had. But A to F is kind of extreme. I think they're trolling people at the fantasy this year. The Giants defense is underrated. They're kind of underrated. They're young, but they don't have that. They don't have that ability to make you believe that they're top 5. They have the ceiling to be top 10, but not like one of the elite yet. But they're coming. It's like the whole team. It's like, okay, they might mess around and win 6 games, but they at least won't be like 2 or 3. So every year you just hope they climb another stair, and you just hope it leads to like the top. But all that starts with Jackson Dart whenever he starts.
Right. James, I do want to say this about Nate's thing about Brees Hall and Harvey. Like, I honestly would not touch Brees Hall though, because like I feel like
No.
with the Jets, they don't have they have Garrett Wilson, but he's gonna be bracketed because they don't have any other like wide receivers outside of him. So I wouldn't touch him either. But you look at the Jets, like Justin Fields, he cannot really throw the football as well. So they're gonna be running the football a lot. So all you just got to do is stack the box, and then that's how you're gonna stop Brees Hall. And I think that's
And
what
don't
a
they
lot of
have 2
teams are
other
gonna
running
do.
backs?
Yeah, they have this Braylon Allen kid, that
Yeah, he
kind of
did well
balled out
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have one more too, but I forget. Like he's a pass catching back.
Hey, who's RJ Harvey? I don't even know who that is.
Is he the
I should know.
Broncos lead? Is he the Broncos lead back? Because I know he was like heavily.
They have what?
He
J.K.
showed,
Dobbins there, or no?
Oh,
The other one from the Chargers last year.
yeah, he is the Broncos lead back.
Wow.
First round draft.
Well, no. Out of what?
Out of UCF.
Oh, okay.
But they have.
I think I remember
J.K.
him in the
Dobbins,
draft
too.
coverage. I do remember they were like breaking down his film.
I mean,
That's a tough division with defense though. With the
That is.
Broncos, that whole division's going to be defensive. Let's just say that.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I think like with the Broncos,
Thank you, Nathaniel.
I think with the Broncos, like with rookie running backs, it's always tough because like they ball out in the preseason, but then you're like, how was that a product of you being good, or was that a product of the other team playing like their second stringers and third stringers? And that's why I don't agree with the Commanders' decision to like part ways with
That was
Brian
weird.
Robinson. Yeah, because it's like you're gonna
I
rely
didn't
on a
like
rookie
that.
who's never. You're gonna rely on a rookie who's never carried the ball in the NFL, like in a regular season game. Like that's gonna be your running back. Like it's just
If not, more pressures on Jalen Williams to throw that thing.
true.
Debo Samuel and Debo might not be as explosive as he used to be, like he showed the last 2 years. He got bigger, and that's not a good thing.
No, not a good
For
thing.
your speed.
And then this is our last comment.
Yeah, this is obvious right here. Yeah, he was the Mavericks, and in the future, like nobody does this trade. Nobody in their right mind. I know this is a football show, but damn it, nobody in their right mind makes that trade and says, "Okay, I'm gonna be okay with this team. Like I'm gonna be okay going forward." Never. Like you never do it, especially at the trade during the season. Now, if you do it in the off season, you're like, well, these are the reasons why. He's not working out as much. there were things during the season we didn't like him doing. He really showed that he didn't want to be here. All these things. If you do it in the off season and those things are happening, okay, then you have basis to do it. But to get what you did, and luckily you got you were given the first pick, but you get Anthony Davis, which I thought would never happen. Like I thought LeBron would never trade him away.
Nope.
Yes, I said that. But yeah, Luka leaving Dallas, and now you have Parsons. Like Dallas used to be the city where it's like, yo, we got sports. You don't have to worry about college football here. And now everybody's like, well, who does? I wonder Dallas people are they all Longhorn fans? You think, or Texas Tech or Texas A&M?
Well,
North
A&M's
Texas,
not really. Well, A&M's not really been that great. They've
College
been mid.
Station. What's
Texas
the
is
University of North Texas is over there? And does the University of Texas Arlington, do they have a team? I
They
wonder.
do. They have a UTSA.
I know they have a basketball team.
They have a football team, but I think they had one good year and that's it. But
I feel like that's the case. Yeah.
I mean, do you see any Texas Tech fans? Like, I don't even know of any Texas Tech fans, to be honest.
There
Like,
used
no,
to
I'm not
be
trying
when
to
they had
diss, like,
Crabtree, when they had
Mike Leach.
who was the quarterback? Remember whomever?
Oh,
It's like a G name. I forget his name, but when
Graham,
those two were going, they were awesome. Like it's like
Graham
kind of like with
Harrell.
Oklahoma State. I remember like a G, but it's like Oklahoma State, right? When they had that one good year with Des Bryant and all of them. Eventually, everything goes to Texas. Oh yeah, I can see SMU. Duh.
SMU, yeah.
TCU, but SMU, because they used to play at the old Cowboy Stadium before they got the death penalty.
Oh,
And they
right.
never recovered from, like, that's another great 30 for 30, the Pony XS. I love that. I learned so much about oil, how things go with Texas and high school football, college football, playing for players, which is legal now. And then just how they got killed from that. And now you see SMU make the playoff last year. Before that, they really showed up well. This year, they have, I think, tamed expectations a little bit, but they expect to be in the thick of things. So I guess people are watching SMU football. Yeah, I don't know. But
Speaking of SMU football,
it's still the Cowboys.
It's so weird just to still see Cal, Stanford, and SMU in the ACC.
I hate it so freaking much.
That blows my mind.
Like this last Saturday, they had that Simone quarterback, Paul. I forget his last name. Palu Tele. I'm missing 3 letters at the beginning, but this lefty from Cal, this dude was throwing like absolute darts and dropping the ball into the buckets to the Cal receivers. But it was cool seeing like Cal versus Oregon State at the beginning. It was kind of cool seeing that as like old Pac-12 members. And but yeah, Cal, I don't know if they'll be any good, but they got this transfer quarterback that'll probably go somewhere else. He really showed up last year. Or I'm sorry, this year. He showed up somewhere else. But yeah, I guess like
Stanford sucks. I mean, they might go 0-12.
Yeah. I guess. Do you want to give any like announcements or shows that are coming up before I leave?
So the announcement. I mean, great show, everybody. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We've had a lot of comments so far on this show. We really appreciate it. But yeah, I think the biggest announcement is football season starts on Thursday. So get the helmet ready, James. Strap them up. Get the
I don't have a helmet
ready.
I don't have a play sheet.
Well, hey man, make one. Make one. I mean, maybe you can ask Bill Belichick.
I'm gonna eBay a menu from Waffle House, like Andy Reid, and just have that right there. I'm gonna dress up like the guy, like Andy Reid at all the Chiefs games. That dude is cool. That guy's a great.
So you're gonna be Peter Griffin then, basically.
No, I don't. I gotta lose weight then. Remember though, last year there was a coach that had a play sheet that looked like a menu, and people were saying that. And then also, the camera got so close up on a play sheet that they could read what it was.
Oh
Like they
yeah,
could read.
yeah.
I forget who it was, but I
It
know.
was Sean Payton.
Was it from the Broncos? Oh God,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I gotta hope that they switch that up where they have no backing on it, where you can't read stuff. You know what's weird too? I saw Matt Patricia.
Yes.
He's the defensive coordinator for Ohio State, right? And you know his thing, where he always has to have that pencil on behind his right ear. But it's weird though because he has a laminated defensive play sheet. And
What?
pencil does not go on a laminated play sheet. I It's just weird. Maybe he just puts it there to write other notes. But I put the two and two together on Saturday. I was like, wait, he can't write on that. There's no way he can write on that. You have like the magic markers, you have highlighters, but pencil doesn't work on laminated play sheets. That's the biggest lesson
No.
out of everything.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean the announcements is that football is back this coming Thursday. Cannot wait for it. We're since football's coming back, and next Monday we've got our return of our extra point show where me and James will be on right after Monday Night Football with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Once that
Oh,
concludes,
yikes.
we may do it after Scott Van Pelt actually goes on for
I won't be home.
or
I mean, I'll be home like after the games, so I'll
yeah.
be listening to them, and I'll just take it from there. Uh, that's one thing I was gonna tell you. There's gonna be except week 2 because you know who's playing right on Monday night
The Raiders.
and the Chargers. So I got that
Oh
day
yeah, that's a
off.
double hitter.
So I will be there for the doubleheader. I mean, I'll be there for sure right after the game. I
Okay.
forget who's the first of that doubleheader. I totally forgot.
It's oh my god, it's like the Falcons and someone. Oh my
Ugh,
goodness.
never mind. I'm good. All I
But
know,
yeah,
the
we
first Monday night game is Bears and Vikings.
Vikings.
I can't remember if it's in Minnesota or Chicago. I think it's in Chicago. I want to say.
I think it because they were propping it up tonight during Belichick's debut as like
Right.
Ben
That's why I keep
Johnson.
seeing
So
it.
I think it is in Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be live after after Monday Night Football. Extra point every Monday nights. That's when we're gonna have it. We're gonna
hmm
react to all the games that happen on Sunday. Then look ahead to or predict all the games that happen the following week. So it's gonna be a great show. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Extra point is next week. But yeah, James, I don't know. Do you have any other announcements before we go to like some
Well,
final? Yeah, do you have any announcements?
I have
Final
a
thoughts before we?
suggestion. Just
Yes.
like I don't want to make picks that early into a week.
Mm-hmm.
I will never do that. I hated that on another show doing that because it was like Tuesday and it was like, oh, who do you think's gonna win next week? It's like, dude, the Thursday game they haven't even like practiced yet, or you don't know the injury reports already. So it's like I don't even want to make predictions of the next week that early. So I'm not doing that with you.
So what do you want to do? Like you want to
The recap of what happened every game or every week.
okay.
And then there's injuries and news, and there's coaches fired. We're going to
Yep.
eventually get to that with Mike
Yep.
McDaniel and
Ooh.
Kevin Stefanski. Those are my two first ones that are going to get fired. You never want to have firings, but they happen. They're the scapegoats.
Well, and I'll tell you this: week 2, I'm gonna be doing the show from the desert because I'm gonna be in Arizona.
Ew.
Might go to the Cardinals game. Who knows? And check out the Redbirds. But yeah, extra point comes to your way next week. It's gonna be fun. And I think the other announcement or final thought that I guess I have is kicking it with Cruz. I know Ben says he's trying to get that show back on the road. We'll see what happens with that. But James, I guess my final thoughts, if you don't have any, is
I'm done. I gotta go. I'll see you around.
All right, man. What a week of college football, man. Ohio State beats Texas. Arch looks overrated, my friend. But Bill Belichick falls flat on his face in his debut. LSU looks like legit contenders. Dylan Raiola looks legit. But what a great week of college football to start the 2025 football season. But guys, it's been a fun show here of 8 divisions in 8 days. We're gonna have a show tomorrow with another 2 divisions. I think we're gonna go with the AFC North, and also the NFC South. So make sure you guys tune in. We might just do the NFC South and the AFC South. We'll keep you posted. But until then, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow night for another edition of 8 divisions in 8 days. Have a good night, everybody.
Legendary.
I'm very excited to introduce to you our new head coach, Bill Belichick.
I'm thrilled to be part of this organization.
Kick is on the way, and it is good. It's good. The Patriots are Super Bowl champions. Are you ready?
It's just about doing our job. Just do your job.
The New England Patriots claim their second Super Bowl championship.
He might be the greatest head coach of all time.
Back to back. 3 out of 4.
We're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. We're preparing for Cincinnati.
A fourth Lombardi trophy is headed to one Patriot place.
Legendary.
The greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
And there it is. The dynasty continues. Legendary. 6 titles.
How sweet is this one?
It's sweet. It's sweet.
Best coach of all time, and it's a privilege to play for him.
Legendary.
Purdy out of the shotgun, drops a couple of steps, going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's deflected and caught.
Cousins, first read taken away. Left side, he throws. Wide open pitch.
From being able to make a play on that football. That's where some were so good last year. The red zone. Nix evades the run. Nix the fake. Another fake, and he spins into the end zone.
They're going to get a free play. Rodgers is the master at it, and a touchdown by Lazard. Jones on the fake, pressure coming, and he's sacked by Parsons.
God, the corner. Open man Hudson. The throw caught. Hudson lost the ball. Looked like a touchdown. Instead, it's a turnover.
On the pocket. Cuts away from Chenal, who's trying to get after him for a second time, but the ball is thrown to the end zone, and it's caught!
On it to McCaffrey right up the middle, and a stiff arm. McCaffrey for 6. Duval.